On 3rd March 1974, Turkish Airlines Flight 981 departed from Istanbul at 7:57 local time and landed at Paris Orly International Airport at 11:02 am local time. After a flight time of just over 4 hours, the aircraft was carrying 167 passengers and 11 crew members on its first leg, and 50 of these passengers disembarked in Paris. The flight's second leg from Paris to London Heathrow Airport was normally underbooked. However, due to a strike by British European Airways employees, many London-bound travellers who had been stranded at Orly were booked onto Flight 981, delaying the flight departure by 30 minutes. The aircraft left Orly Airport at 12:32, bound for Heathrow Airport, and took off in an easterly direction before turning north. Shortly after takeoff, Flight 981 was cleared to flight level 230, that is 23,000 feet, and started turning west towards London. Just after the aircraft passed over the town of Meaux, the rear left cargo door blew off, and the sudden difference in air pressure between the cargo area and the pressurized passenger cabin above it, which amounted to 36 kPa, caused a section of the cabin floor above the open hatch to separate and be forcibly ejected through the open hatch, along with 6 occupied passenger seats attached to the floor section. The fully recognizable bodies of 6 Japanese passengers who were ejected from the aircraft were found along with the plane's rear cargo hatch, having landed in a turnip field near St. Pathos, approximately 15 kilometers south of where the remainder of the plane was found. An air traffic controller noted that as the flight was cleared to FL 230, he had briefly seen a second echo on his radar that remained stationary behind the aircraft. This was likely the remains of the rear cargo door. When the door blew off, the primary as well as both sets of backup control cables that ran beneath the section of the floor that blew out were completely severed, destroying the pilot's ability to control the plane's elevators, rudder, and number 2 engine. The flight data recorder showed that the throttle for engine 2 snapped shut when the door failed. The loss of control of these key components resulted in the pilots losing control of the aircraft entirely. The aircraft almost immediately attained a 20-degree pitch down and began picking up speed, while captain and first officer struggled to regain control. At some point, one of the crew members pressed their microphone button, broadcasting the pandemonium in the cockpit on the departure frequency. Controllers also picked up a distorted transmission from the plane, and the aircraft's pressurization and overspeed warnings were heard over the pilot's word in Turkish, including the co-pilot saying the fuselage has burst. As the plane's speed increased, the additional lift raised the nose again. Captain is recorded calling out speed and pushed the throttles forward in order to level off. 77 seconds after the cargo door gave way, the plane crashed into the trees of Ermenonville Forest, a state-owned forest at Bosquet de Damartin in the commune of Fontaine-Chalice. At the point of impact, the aircraft was traveling at a speed of approximately 430 knots at a slight left turn, fast enough to disintegrate the plane into thousands of pieces. The wreckage was so fragmented that it was difficult to determine whether any parts of the aircraft were missing before it crashed. Post-crash fires were small because there were few large pieces of the aircraft left intact to burn. Of the 346 passengers and crew on board, only 40 bodies were visually identifiable, with rescue teams recovering some 20,000 body fragments in all. 9 passengers were never identified.